Stephen Colbert had a joke about where he watched Vietnam. He watches Ken Burns' Vietnam so he can immerse himself in less divisive times. So apparently, right, Trump hasn't brought us together. He's divided the fuck out of us. And he's doubling down, and he's going to keep on doing this until 2020. So he's going to ride on this, I guess, popular wave or this populist wave. So he's going to, hang on to his extreme right-wing racist base. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Hey-chew. Hey-chew. Okay. Sorry to put you through that.
But it's not like the Russians were just trying to help Trump. What we have found out recently is that the Russians were also trying to hurt Hillary. Because they used Facebook to back Bernie Sanders even after his presidential campaign ended, and ran ads in support of Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein.
Uh-oh. Running campaign ads for Jill Stein. She went over, she had that meeting, and here they are. One of the things he's going to say she's a peace candidate. Don't waste your vote. And he's going to be like, oh, they wasted their vote. Yeah, so Colbert actually goes there. This does piss me off. It pisses me off when any of these fucking entertainers do this shit. Because Stephen Colbert, a member of the 1%, a man who played Bill O'Reilly's doppelganger for, fucking years. And I wonder if after a while you've been playing the conservative, if somehow you don't empathize with some of the conservatives. I actually recall Stephen Colbert giving Donald Trump some leeway. Stephen Colbert, he, gets his TV show. Bill O'Reilly says, oh, well, there it is. Media is liberal. That's how we know media is liberal, because Stephen Colbert is taking over for, David Letterman? Is that, he took over David Letterman's show? Is that what we're saying? Or maybe his time slot or something? I think it was Letterman, right? So Colbert's the new Letterman, so now we have liberal America, said Bill O'Reilly. So Colbert comes on there, and I think he was very cautious of that. And so he's conservative. Colbert's conservative at heart. He leans towards the Democrats, but he's been peddling this Russia bullshit, and he's been, basically, now I see his true fucking colors. He's going to make this joke about my beloved and precious Jill Stein, who's of MLK quality, MLK ilk quality. Stephen Colbert, you didn't see the MLK of the 2000s. You don't see how fucking big of a badass that she is. And you had that one guest who you were kind of making fun of because he said he wanted to vote for Jill Stein. So, Colbert, you're a barker, you're an entertainer, but that's the thing, is you only appear to do or say what you're supposed to instead of actually doing what you're supposed to. So let's hear this joke.
One ad said, choose peace and vote for Jill Stein. Trust me, it's not a wasted vote. I'm pretty sure if you voted for Jill Stein, they gave you a I wasted my vote sticker.
Oh my God. No, I didn't waste my vote. Actually, Stephen Colbert, you wasted your vote, right? You voted for the loser. Yeah, you voted for the loser. She didn't win. So why did you vote? Your vote didn't matter whatsoever. You wasted your vote. Now, the lesson of the 2016 presidential election is that Hillary was a shitty candidate. She has a shitty personality. She's got those Betty DeVos eyes, right? Those psychopathic eyes. She doesn't give a shit about anybody. Her voice is shrill, not because she's a woman. It's because she's a psychopath. She's a female psychopath, and you can hear the lack of empathy in her voice, because she is just, long time ago just lost the her emotions, right? Just went ahead and took her emotions and just put them in a bottle and sayonara. So not only is she a shitty person, a shitty candidate, shitty human being, she's, has baggage or what have you, say what you want about the Monica, Bill Clinton thing. She did stay by her man. She did, added Clinton. She was just Hillary Rodham, but then it was Rodham Clinton. So we feminized her. Arkansas made sure she was, Bill Clinton's wife. And then she stayed by her man, Right, so here's this huge feminist who is not really standing up as you would expect a feminist to stand up. She didn't stand up for DOMA until the last year in the presidential election, so she was against gay people. She many times said that she believes in this man and woman. A marriage is only between a man and woman, and that's it, so fuck all y'all gay people. So she did that up until a year or two, so then she reverses course. Obama, he evolved on the matter, but Hillary, only when she became candidate Hillary did she give a shit about gay people. So would gay, people's rights, would they have been protected? I don't know. She has a very, very conservative record. She was in favor of the border wall. So if Hillary was president, the Trump wall would have already been built, because who's going to oppose it? She's a Democrat. Democrats are on board. Republicans are for, fucking separation and shit. So they would be in favor of a border wall. The border wall would have already been built if Hillary Clinton was president. Would we be out of war? I don't know. She wouldn't have told Russia when we were bombing Syria. So she would have used power and force and, had a big Mexican standoff, playing chicken with Putin, and then hoping, basically they've seen Putin back down several times, and so they keep on pushing Putin like that. And so she wants to keep on doing that. In her mind, she's got the Kissinger mindset of the world. So in her mind, Kissinger is the standard bearer for what the American empire is. The American empire, 900 military bases, we got soft power, we got hard power, we got allies, there's a balance of power, we're the lone superpower. So she is a Goldwater girl. She, was against Goldwater is against the Civil Rights Act, and he wanted to escalate Vietnam. And she escalated war. She was a warmongering like a crazy motherfucker. I'm not saying Trump is any less of a warmonger, but do you think Hillary would have brought the troops home? Are you saying Hillary wouldn't have had the 30 shadow wars in Africa? Are you saying that Hillary wouldn't have been bombing Syria? She would have bombed Syria even more. She wouldn't even told Russia about it, so she would have risked nuclear war in order to win this thing in Syria. And right now, I think Syria, at least our involvement, has been very minimal. I think we bombed a school. I mean, we're still like meddling in that shit, which is why the fuck do we keep doing that? I thought we were out of Syria. I thought we signed a peace, fucking, a ceasefire, right? Putin, Trump, fucking ceasefire as soon as they had their first conversation. So the Syrian war was essentially over. Hillary would have kept us going. Hillary would have kept us going in Syria, just like she would have kept us going in Yemen and Africa and Afghanistan and all these countries that Trump is in now. So with Trump, we only had the possibility of peace, but seriously, he's a right-wing extremist. Even if he had some misgivings about Afghanistan, Iraq, now he's got the gauntlet, right? They'll talk all this anti-war shit, just like John Kerry. John Kerry's like conducting wars all across, the entire world. He was Mr. Anti-Vietnam, threw his fucking medals away, right? He protested the war, said it was bullshit. He was on the right side of history. But what happened to John Kerry? The war machine fucking ate him. They ate him up. So Hillary is wrong on the border wall. We would have had a border wall. We would still be at war. She said that the research is still out on marijuana. So would there still be Jeff Sessions going into states that haven't, it's breaking federal law. She's a by-the-book kind of person, right? Very nerdy, by-the-book kind of person. Not tough, right? That shoe, But, so she's a by-the-book kind of person. And marijuana is illegal in the federal government, so I think she would be like, nope, got to change that law. If you don't change that law, well, maybe the federal government don't have no fucking business dealing with the war on drugs in the states. So we'll just pass a law here in the state. So she says that the research is still out. Oh, the research is still out. Okay. No, it's not fucking crack. It's not fucking heroin. It's not even alcohol. Fuck you, Hillary. The research is out. Her fucking husband didn't inhale, right? Oh, I guess if he would have inhaled, he'd been like, well, shit, this ain't nothing, right? So he should have fucking inhaled. If he would have inhaled, maybe he could have told Hillary that it doesn't fucking matter. But that's the thing. She's trying to triangulate on all these issues. She's trying to triangulate with it. Well, the research is still out, so, I'm in between. Even Trump said medical marijuana he was in favor of. So he's inching more fucking liberal than Hillary is on marijuana. So is it possible we still would have, marijuana raids by the feds if Hillary was still in there? Absolutely. She's for a border wall. Would ICE have been going up? Obama set up this deportation machine. He's deported more people than every other president throughout history. So she would have been deporting, maybe not as much as Trump, right? Because he's feeling that he has to go to the right of the Democrats, and the Democrats have already gone so fucking far right that, his immigration policy is just only 45,000 people when the entire world's allowed to come to the United States. Only 45,000 people, and that's it. So, Goldman Sachs, he's the 1%. She was the 1%. She had all those Goldman Sachs meetings telling the bank one thing, having a private opinion, public opinion. So, she's going to make sure that the bankers get theirs, right? He put Goldman Sachs into his fucking cabinet. I'm not saying that she's better or worse. In fact, I probably would have leaned towards Hillary, because I'm Democrat and I would assume, but during the campaign, when it came to, she was spouting off a bunch of conservative shit and he was spouting off a bunch of liberal shit. In fact, before he was in favor of single-payer health care. Now he's a fucking piece of shit. Rand Paul pulled him to the right during the debate. So you gotta watch these debates, man. That's where the power actually lies. So Rand Paul fucked up single-payer health care for the United States because in one of the debates he started mocking Trump and be like, well, this guy says he's a Republican conservative, but he's for the single-payer. And then Trump was like, hey, I don't think he was listening there, Rand. And it was like an Obama mix. But it says, I don't think he was listening there, Rand. What I said is this. It's going to be a great plan and all this other horseshit. But essentially made him run away from single payer. So Rand Paul is the reason why we don't have... He was for single payer. And he even says we're not going to let people die in the streets. He was defending people, So it makes no fucking sense. He defends single-payer healthcare during the campaign, but when he becomes president, he's like, nah, I'm an insurance fucking shill. Nah, I only want the health insurance companies to make shit a ton of money. Fuck the people. What the fuck happened, Donald, huh? Now, you might even say Hillary on healthcare was better, but was she? She would have made Obamacare better, but that was a sellout to the insurance industry. So Hillary, they started it in 94, but then she sold out. So, she started out good. She's our fucking standard bearer for TPP. Yeah, she was all about TPP. So, fucking Trump, that's one big thing you could say Trump did for, liberals. He killed TPP. Now, yeah, they're probably constructed some other, comparable bill because that's what the fucking owners of this planet do. But for the time being, TPP is dead. So, Hillary, I was trying to make a different point, though. With Goldman Sachs, 1%. TPP, something that she would have done. Fuck. I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of shit. It just goes on and on. She's part of the 1%. She's a shill for Goldman Sachs. She would have been fracking all over the fucking place. She was, the question on weed is still out for her. War, she is such a fucking warmonger. It's not even funny. She intervened in Ukraine and Libya illegally. All these were aggressive wars. Wars of invasion, which is the crime that Hitler had committed. The reason why Nazis were hung at Nuremberg. Because one sovereign nation cannot invade another sovereign nation. That's what the greatest generation figured out for all the rest of us, and that's why they constructed the United Nations. But she was in favor of the war. She was all about war all over the place. With in Honduras, there's a coup d'etat in Honduras. That's the murder capital of the world. But I guarantee you, corporations could set up fucking shop in Honduras now. So that's fucking great for the corporatist in Honduras. But she's overthrowing governments. She thinks that, we're the empire of the world, so we could just do these extra fucking legal judicial bullshit anytime we feel like it. Anytime we feel like it, we could just invade countries without UN authority, without anybody's authority. So that means no matter what fucking asshole gets at the helm, they can bomb whoever the fuck they like, whoever they please. Oh, that's fucking great, Democrats. You set this fucking imperial presidency up perfectly for Trump. God, he could probably just go in Honduras and shoot everybody on 5th Avenue. He could probably go on the 5th Avenue of every nation in the entire country and just shoot them all down. And it'd be legal. Everything Hitler did was legal. Everything Hitler did was legal. And Martin Luther King got thrown in jail hundreds of times. Maybe dozens. So, yeah. Stephen Colbert, she wasn't even a fucking progressive. She wasn't even a fucking Democrat. the Democrats should be where Bernie Sanders is. And Bernie Sanders is conservative on some things. He voted for the war in Kosovo. He voted for the Iraq Liberation Act, which allowed Bill Clinton to bomb Iraq. He, was, there's a whole bunch of, so Bernie Sanders isn't perfect, but when he says single payer health care, and he's the only person, the only senator, the only politician in America that basically says it's a right, it's a human right, and we need to have one, Medicare for all. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say before. Hillary Clinton, she was at that speech where everybody started cheering against universal health care, right? So it's like, and you know what? If Bernie Sanders is talking about single payer, it will never come to pass because Obamacare is the law of the land. Woo! Fuck single payer health care. Yeah, more war. Woo! That's what Stephen Colbert is all about. Stephen Colbert would have voted for Hillary Clinton. She would have got us into more wars. Right now, I think Macron, yeah, she might have been the lesser of the two evils, but she's still a neoliberal. She's still conservative, and she could have consolidated all those institutions of the Obama years. So that would mean that the Democrats for the rest of our lives are the party of the rich, the party of the 1%, the party of war, the party of hating immigrants, the party of the war on drugs. Well, hell, she's just went ahead and, when she talks so much shit about, Republicans in the past, and maybe because she's lost to them, she's basically just swallowed the Republicanism, and, she is a Republican. She's a Republican through and through. That's the lesson of the 2016 election. And Stephen Colbert doesn't get that. Stephen Colbert didn't fucking get that memo. And you want to try to make fun of people, I wasted my vote. I voted for somebody I believed in. Did you? You believe in war, Stephen Colbert? You believe in a border wall, Stephen Colbert? You believe in beating the shit out of people over marijuana? You fucking Nazi? You fucking prick? That's what you were voting for with Hillary. Yeah, lesser of the two evils. Maybe you were trying to just cut the losses. But our election system is fucked. And if you want a fair election system, you'd get instant runoff voting, but you'd never do that because you're a cunt who doesn't believe in democracy for everybody. You don't believe in a fair fucking government, a fair fucking democracy. You want a fair fight? You want to eliminate the spoiler effect? Get us instant runoff voting, Stephen Colbert. I bet you won't fucking do it because you don't give a shit about a fair democracy. You picked your crappy, shitty horse and you gotta disparage all the rest. That's why you didn't see that Jill Stein is a badass. Jill Stein's a badass, and we have such big structural issues in this country that only a Jill Stein would have fixed it. Hillary wouldn't have fixed the issues. She wouldn't have fixed poverty and homelessness and drugs and the wars. She wouldn't have fixed it. Some people, Stephen Colbert, if you're the person smoking a fucking joint, you get your ass kicked in Alabama and you got to be behind bars for fucking decades or even worse. One in Alabama that had those corrupt cops planting fucking drugs on people. So if you just looked at a cop the wrong way, now you got drugs planted on you and you're going to jail for the rest of your life. Stephen Colbert, there's some fucking people that's out in this world that can't wait. No, your candidate is unacceptable. Fuck your candidate. You wasted your fucking vote, Stephen Colbert. You had power and influence. You were sitting there saying with Donald Trump that, God, after you see all his crowds, Stephen Colbert said that he started to respect Donald Trump after he started seeing the crowds. Oh, is that all it takes for you, Stephen Colbert? Just the optics. So when Donald Trump, rich billionaire Donald Trump, goes fucking rents a goddamn convention and a microphone and bitches about what the fuck ever, and people come to see that stupid bullshit, that's when you started to respect him. So Colbert could have, laid into Trump during the campaign. He could have laid into Trump. He could have elevated all these other candidates up so we would have had a more powerful, more robust conversation. But Colbert didn't do that. And a lot of my liberal heroes, I've lost all my liberal heroes. I've lost them all. So, I still watch Colbert, I still watch Cenk Uygur and Bill Maher and, some of the other ones. They're entertainers. They're entertainers. So I know that. So I watch them with reservations. And this isn't, me hating on them. This is more just me coming into, enlightenment, me being self-actualized. I don't have any more liberal heroes that speak for me. So whereas Jimmy Dore and Kyle Kalinske, I was hanging on, their every goddamn word up until Election Day. When it actually came down to after Election Day, right? Jimmy Dore's not in favor of impeaching. Neither one of them are in favor of impeaching Trump. They're a bunch of cunts. They're cowards. They gotta, they kiss Jink's ass, so they listen to Daddy, and Daddy Trump is their daddy now, and they're too scared to, raise the fist or whatever, or try to impeach him for war crimes. We have, 1,000 fucking wars right now? Thousands of shooting wars. Who gives a fuck, right? It's not happening on our street, so let's hope those 1,000 shooting wars go well. I mean, hell, it went swimmingly in Vietnam. Who gives a shit if we're in 30 shadow wars? Maybe there's 30 more Vietnams in fucking Africa. Who cares? Let's just give Trump all that authority. Hillary would have had all that authority. She would have been doing the same shit, only more. She's more militaristic. She would have had the border wall, would have already been up. She might have been going after people for marijuana, and she was for the 1% in the Goldman Sachs, just like Stephen Colbert is. He's part of the 1%. One joke that he had when he was playing, Bill O'Reilly, the conservative on the Comedy Central show, was that Social Security is a tip, right? At the tip, at the end of a meal, you tip, and that's what Social Security is. It's that extra tip at the end. Does he believe that? I mean, because I kind of hate the tip. I resent the tip. I'm poor, so I can't, you're asking me to give you money how much I think you deserve when I don't have any money to give. And, that's why I came to goddamn fucking Frisch's. I wanted a cheap hamburger. Now I gotta fucking tip you an extra $2 or $3 on top of the $4, God. And so I would rather go to places where I could serve myself, get my own drinks, and just get my own food. I could seat myself. I could get my drinks quicker. And I don't need your help. Sorry, I've been a waiter myself, so I know what it feels like. So I don't go to restaurants and not tip. I just don't go to the restaurants whatsoever. No way. I don't even want to, have to deal with that. I'll save that money and go buy some stuff and, cook some good home cooking stuff. So he made a joke about, Social Security. So does he believe in Social Security? Is he pro-Social Security? How conservative or how liberal is Stephen Colbert? We have not properly vetted. Maybe we expect too much out of our entertainers, but understand that. Understand that. Watch your entertainers with reservations. Watch them with reservations. They are entertainers. Seth Meyers, his jokes against Trump might have been the reason why Trump even ran to become president to begin with. So Seth Meyers baited bitch-ass Trump, and so now bitch Trump is like, I'm a man, and so bitch Trump is the fucking president now because of Seth Meyers. And the reason why you should be extremely skeptical of all these guys is because they are entertainers. They just say, look at me, look at me. That's their entire mantra. Look at me, look at me. So as long as they can get you to keep on looking at them, they're doing good. That's all they need. You look at them, you look at the advertisers, they keep the show. That's all they give a shit. Look at me, look at me. So it's very ironic. It seems very interesting that Stephen Colbert didn't hit Trump when he first came out on the campaign trail. He wasn't attacking him. I've lost all my liberal heroes, even Noam Chomsky. He was very tepid with Bernie Sanders. So, Colbert just wasn't going after Trump. He liked his crowds. Wow, look at those crowds. I'm in awe. Donald Trump, what a great God he's going to be. No, Bill O'Reilly, I'm not going to be just a liberal. I got conservative values too. So Stephen Colbert gets on, the Letterman show, and now he's, totally becoming a fucking cunt, but then he started getting a stride, right? He started getting a stride towards the end, and now Trump's the fucking president. His record, he's got rating records. My God, Jimmy Dore selling out all these different, these different spots. He's selling tickets left and right. Is he going to be able to talk about poverty after he starts raking in all this cash? And Colbert, MSNBC, all these fucking corporations and companies are making bank. For comedians, Trump is great for comedians, and for corporations, for liberal fucking, the outraged establishment, the left outraged establishment. It's great. It's wonderful them. And I still watch these assholes because Bill Maher shits on the Republicans, and so does Jink, and so does Colbert. So I'll probably still continue to watch, them here and there, but I don't have the same admiration. I don't look at them as gods anymore. And that's a good thing. It just means that I'm coming into my own and I need to speak my own voice. I don't have anybody speaking for me, so this is actually where all Americans should go. All Americans should start speaking for themselves. Okay? So, let's see, there's another major point I was wanting to make about the election in 2016 and about his fucking... Oh, okay, so this... I didn't actually... Technically speaking, I didn't vote for Jill Stein, but I talked about her all throughout the campaign, and so, I validated some. I saw lots of people. I made sure I voted for Bernie, but I chased a woman, and so I was, the woman was my revolution, because what's a fucking vote? A vote ain't much of nothing at all. But unfortunately, I don't think she voted. She voted, but she gave it to a guy, and I don't know if that vote actually went through, and there was same-day registration, so I was in Colorado during election day, so I could have actually voted here anyways, but she didn't know she's not for democracy. She was just being a flirt and like that I was interested in her. So, yeah, that turned out really bad. But I was championing her. I voted for Jill Stein in 2012. I voted for Jill Stein, I voted for Nader. I voted for Obama in the primary, but I voted for Nader in the general election. I voted for Jill Stein. I voted for Cynthia McKinney, actually. I voted for Cynthia McKinney in 2008. So, you don't have my vote to begin with, Stephen Colbert. I want to vote for somebody. You can't understand that? Well, get the fuck out of this democracy. I want to vote for the person, okay? The George Carlin had a joke that it's actually the voters who cause the shit. The voters are the ones that put these politicians in office. And where these politicians come out of? Not out of a void. They came out of, the American people. So these are our own people that we had voted on, and they are our leaders. This is the best of what we got. This is the best that we've came up with. And so it's the voters. People say, well, if you don't vote, you can't complain. Well, if you didn't vote, you didn't actually participate in the machine. You didn't give your power away to somebody else. It's not smart in a democracy, but some democracies actually invalidate an election if there's not 50% turnout rate. That means everybody boycotted the election. Well, that's not a fair election. We need to get the majority. So there's some democracies that truly believe in majority rule, that, the rule by the demos. So what kind of Jill Stein voter am I? I was for Jill Stein. I love her. I think she's incredible. I voted for her last year, and I've been, I think I still love her. She went to jail. Nader didn't go to jail, so she went to jail for what she believed, and she's right about every goddamn issue. So when it comes to poverty, when it comes to war, only a Jill Stein would have pulled us out of that. Hillary would have never pulled us out. She would have never fucking done it, ever. We would still be in war 4 more fucking years later. Only Jill Stein would have done it, and because she's got the political will. Hillary didn't have the political will. She didn't even give a shit. She said the research is still out on weed, and that was my thing, was poverty, weed, and war. She's for the war, against weed, and poverty. She's all about she's 1%, fucking talking all these speeches to Goldman Sachs and shit. Does she understand working class people? Does she understand the struggle? Does she understand what my life is like? She did at one point. Does she still now? I mean, what about that weekend at Bernie? She passed the fuck out, right? And they had to give her an adrenaline shot or some shit. So, Colbert, you didn't learn this is who I am, okay? So I'm a Jill Stein supporter. We'll put it that way. I did vote for her in 2012, so I'm a voter too. And if I had thought that my vote would have mattered, I would have definitely voted for Jill Stein. I was so fucking slam dunk Jill Stein, and hopefully that me talking about it encouraged other people to vote for her. So, yeah, technically, you got me. I didn't vote for Jill Stein, but I was such an Advent supporter. And, okay, so anyways, so what have I been doing? What have I been doing? I've been paying attention to the city council race. I've been paying attention to the local politics and the state politics and to the state elections. I'm sitting there writing lots of different things. There's a strong mayor thing. They're trying to change the Constitution here in the city. So I am Green Party. I'm trying to, extend my base of influence. It's hard to start your own political party. So I'm trying to hope I could find a group so then I don't have to initiate all the things to begin with. But I'm aware, I'm conscious, I'm paying attention. I'm writing about stuff. I'm, being active in this election. So my guess is that most Jill Stein, especially the smart ones, the smart Jill Stein voters and supporters, they are smarter than your average bear. They see that the problems are bigger than what you're trying to say and that we need to do something better and bigger. So, go Bernie Sanders or go fucking home. And y'all didn't go Bernie Sanders, so they went home. And Stephen Colbert, you got to get that. You got to understand that. She wasn't a progressive. Her policies were wrong. She wasn't even a good fucking Democrat. So she's a shitty person. Maybe you disagree with that. Maybe you think she's warm and kind and all this other bullshit. I think she's a psycho. But let's assume she's, a goddamned angel. But her policies was all about murder and war and killing and deporting everybody and going after the potheads and, protecting the Goldman Sachs and the 1%. That's who she was. That's who she was. Against gay people up until she became the candidate. Would we have had better gay protections? I can't be for sure. Would we be in less war? Not for sure. We would have already had a goddamn border wall by now. Would she been going after the potheads? Maybe. Who knows? She had no progressive, these were major fucking issues. So if you're poor and poverty is a death sentence, nope, you didn't have fucking time to waste with Hillary, to vote, to even play part of that whole damn thing. You're poor. You need to get a job. You need to save some money. You need to figure out how to not be poor anymore. If you're a victim of police brutality because of marijuana or other drugs, if you're one of the victims in war in Syria or Honduras where the bombs are dropping, if you're an immigrant, if you're a dreamer, you know, and if you're poor. So these are all the people that have to watch out for Hillary. Hillary, you're trying to tell people that they must get in line and vote for somebody that's going to deport them. We must get in line and vote for somebody that wants cops to beat us over the head and throw us in fucking jail over marijuana. We're supposed to get in line and vote for somebody. She's a killer. She wants to kill everybody. And border, well, 1% in Doma. She's not even for gay people. She pretended to be for gay people at the end, but is that who she was? So now I speak for me, and I encourage everybody, you should speak for you too. Fuck you, Stephen Colbert.